last 6 games, but has there been one consistent factor during this winning streak that you would contribute that's led to the success and the rhythm you guys have gotten?
Well, just to share with you, so over the course of this year, one of the things that we've talked about and refer to it as an invisible foundation, where the feeling was, over time, if we're consistent with our work and our habits, that hopefully at some point, some of those things, begin to surface even more. So when I say that, we've made a few adjustments that I think fit this team. We've tried to be more aggressive because we have a few guys that I think can do that. Obviously, Nikhil and Dyson have done it all year, but our focus on the possession game. You guys know, you've asked me 20 to 30 times about defensive rebounding. That's been a huge key. Taking care of the ball, us getting more aggressive on the offensive glass. All those things kind of point to more possessions, and that can mitigate a bad shooting night or the opponent having a good shooting night. And I think what we've seen is a group that, although I won't go through all the names, but a lot of new faces. But those guys also have had experience that they've been able to provide leadership and know what it's like to be a part of a really functioning, high-level functioning team. Whether it's Gabe and his experience, Jock, CJ, obviously Corey. You go through the list with some of those guys that I think are providing an example of commitment to little things. And it's not like those things that, that's why I refer to the foundation. I think those habits are there. And as a couple of our younger guys begin to raise their level, and the fact we've been able to practice, that has a way. Training camp's so short. We haven't had a training camp per se, but we've tried to.
When you talk about foundation and what it seems as a brand of basketball that you guys have been playing, with the new faces, how have they been able to make what seems to be such a quick adjustment to the point where you have that level of consistency?
Yeah, well, I guess a good example of what I'm talking about. We've led the league in assists the whole year, so there's nothing new about the fact that passing